Hey y'all, welcome back to Heretics Bible Study. Have you ever heard the legend of the lost word? The mystical history of Freemasonry informs us that there once existed a word of surpassing value and claiming a profound veneration, that this word was known to few and that at length was lost, and that a temporary substitute for it was adopted. This was written by Albert Pike. Albert Pike was this big-time occultist. He was born in Boston, studied at Harvard, then served as Brigadier General of the Confederate Army. He was found guilty of treason, but pardoned by President Andrew Jackson. He is not only a 33rd degree Mason, he is one of the founding fathers of the ancient accepted Scottish Rite. And he is the author of Morals and Dogma, which is not like a ethics book like Plato's Republic. It is like the rules for the organization. He is the one who's told us that a temporary substitute for this lost word was adopted. The story goes that King Solomon, King Hiram of Tyre, and Hiram of Beef, the son of a widow of the tribe of Naphtali, each held a syllable sound of this word. Hiram of Beef was murdered for his sound, for his portion of the word, and the word was lost. So King Solomon and King Hiram, and actually Hiram of Beef, they're all here in Scripture in 1 Kings chapter 5. Well, King Hiram and Solomon are at least. Preparations for building the temple. When Hiram, king of Tyre, heard that Solomon had been anointed king to succeed his father David, he sent his envoys to Solomon because he had always been on friendly terms with David. Solomon sent back this message to Hiram. You know that because of the wars waged against my father David from all sides, he could not build a temple for the name of the Lord his God until the Lord put his enemies under his feet. But now the Lord my God has given me rest on every side. There is no adversary or disaster. I intend therefore to build a temple for the name of the Lord my God, as the Lord told my father David, when he said, your son, whom I will put on the throne in your place, will build the temple for my name. So give orders that cedars of Lebanon be cut for me. My men will work with yours, and I will pay you for your men whatever wages you set. You know that we have no one so skilled in felling timber as the Sidonians. When Hiram heard Solomon's message, he was greatly pleased and said, Praise be to the Lord today, for he has given David a wise son to rule over this great nation. So Hiram sent word to Solomon, I have received the message you have sent me, and will do all you want in providing the cedar and pine logs. My men will haul them down from Lebanon to the sea, and I will float them in rafts by sea to the place you specify. There I will separate them, and you can take them away. You are to grant my wish by providing food for my royal household. In this way, Hiram kept Solomon supplied with all the cedar and pine logs he wanted, and Solomon gave Hiram 20,000 cores of wheat as food for his household, in addition to 20,000 baths of pressed olive oil. Solomon continued to do this for Hiram year after year. The Lord gave Solomon wisdom, just as he had promised him. There were peaceful relations between Hiram and Solomon, and the two of them made a treaty. King Solomon conscripted laborers from all Israel, 30,000 men. He sent them off to Lebanon in shifts of 10,000 a month, so that they spent 1 month in Lebanon and 2 months at home. Adoniram was in charge of the forced labor. Solomon had 70,000 carriers and 80,000 stonecutters in the hills, as well as 3,300 foremen who supervised this project and directed the workmen. At the king's command, they removed from a quarry large blocks of quality stone to provide a foundation of dressed stone for the temple. The craftsmen of Solomon and Hiram and the men of Gebal cut and prepared the timber and stone for the building of the temple. Okay, and then in chapter 7, starting with verse 13, King Solomon sent to Tyre and brought Hiram, whose mother was a widow from the tribe of Naphtali, and whose father was a man of Tyre, and a craftsman in bronze. Hiram was highly skilled and experienced in all kinds of bronze work. He came to King Solomon and did all the work that was assigned to him. So we know that this is scriptural. We know that this word had 3 syllables. This is the Deuteronomy age, and it is said that Moses knew this word. It was first taught to Moses. It was known in Egypt as the true name of God. Only priests could utter it. But apparently King Solomon, King Hiram of Tyre, and Hiram of Beef, each could say their sound, which I think they spoke in unison, in universe. The Hebrew letters are the microcosm of the Bible, the way that the DNA is the microcosm of the body, the way that molecules and atoms are the microcosm of the universe, of all matter. So the Hebrew letters, there are 22 of them. They've changed, they've morphed both in meaning and in their depiction, the way they're drawn from the ancient to the modern. And for this reason, the rabbis call them living letters. Each letter, there's 22 of them. Each letter has a name, a sound, a number. They're archetypes. And the Book of Formation says that the earth was created, the world was created with names, numbers, and symbols. Oh, ancient Hebrew was written with no punctuation, no spaces, no cases, or vowels. So we can assume that this word is ancient Hebrew, right? Because again, it was known to Moses. This was the Deuteronomy age. We have King Solomon, King Hiram, who has other chapters written about him, Hiram of Beef, all biblical characters. And also this idea of substitution, which is exactly what Jesus gave us. The book of Proverbs of Solomon says that wisdom is the beginning of understanding, and that wisdom was there in the beginning with God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, is how St. John the Revelator writes in the Gospel. Chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning, in Hebrew, is the word Bereshit, and it is the word that begins Genesis. Genesis is the Greek translation of the word in the beginning. Bereshit also is in the Deuteronomy age, also has 3 syllables. It's also known to Moses, and it's also the first word. And it doesn't have any power. Think about it.